Hey, get the fuck out the car!
It was supposed to be a normal week for law enforcement, but what unfolded across just a few days turned into a whirlwind of chaos, danger, and split-second decisions. From a drug bust that spiraled into a shootout, to a man claiming he had a grenade and daring officers to come closer. What these officers faced was anything but routine. And in one case, an officer was nearly killed by a driver who refused to stop. These aren't movie scenes. This is real-life body cam footage, and every moment captured tells a story of unpredictability, high stakes, and the razor-thin line between control and catastrophe. But none of it compares to what happened next. On February 12, 2025, officers in an Oklahoma City were running a standard narcotics operation. They had eyes on a white Toyota crossover parked along the curb, two men inside, just sitting, suspicious, but still calm. That calm didn't last. Police boxed the vehicle in, one patrol SUV at the front, another closing in from behind. But the moment they stepped out, the driver suddenly gunned the engine, nearly running down one of the officers in the process. Within seconds, both officers opened fire. One let off around 10 rounds straight into the car, but the suspect didn't stop. He sped off, a short chase followed, and soon the passenger bailed, bolting from the vehicle and dashing into a nearby home. Officers followed, weapons drawn, and ordered him out. When the man stepped outside, he refused to get on his knees. A 37mm non-lethal round was fired. He was taken down and arrested. Meanwhile, the driver hadn't given up either. He kept going until he finally crashed just a few blocks away. Officers swarmed in and arrested him at the scene. Inside the vehicle, they found multiple types of illegal substances, enough to add serious weight to the charges. The suspects were identified as Montel Anderson and Christopher Taylor, now facing multiple felony charges. But that was just the beginning. The real chaos was still ahead. Less than a month later, on March 11, 2025, police dispatch received a call that no officer ever wants to hear, and this time, the caller wasn't a witness or a victim. It was the suspect himself. 44-year-old Adrian Uribe called 911 and calmly told the dispatcher that he was armed with a pistol and a grenade. He also made something else disturbingly clear. He was feeling suicidal, and he was willing to take down any officer who got close. Officers rushed to the location tied to his call and set up around the apartment building. From behind cover, they tried to talk him down, but Uribe wasn't budging. He refused every command and stayed holed up inside, holding what he claimed was enough firepower to kill everyone nearby. Protocol demanded backup. SWAT officers were called to the scene and began preparing for a possible breach. But before they arrived, Uribe made his move. Without warning, he stepped out of his apartment, holding what looked like a handgun, and aimed it directly at police. Multiple officers fired, but somehow, none of the shots hit. Uribe ducked back inside, alive and still potentially armed. This time, SWAT didn't wait. A well-aimed canister of tear gas was launched into the apartment. Moments later, coughing and disoriented, Uribe surrendered. He wasn't injured, and as investigators searched the home, they made a surprising discovery: no explosives. The grenade never existed, but what they did recover was a black and brown replica pistol, realistic enough to provoke a lethal response. It could have been a massacre. Instead, it ended in surrender. But not every suspect would go down that easily. Every incident started differently, but they all shared one thing: they escalated in seconds. One suspect offered a drink before ramming patrol cars. Another faked a grenade threat that brought in SWAT. A woman behind the wheel turned a DUI into an attempted murder. And one man, once a symbol of second chances, lost everything in a single, unhinged moment. These are more than just body cam clips. They're reminders of how fast everything can change, for the officers, the suspects, and everyone caught in between.